Yes. Hello.
I'm really way here.
Yeah. Finally. Sorry for the technical issues.
That's fine.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Samvad's live session. So, if you have any queries, you can please post it, and at the end of the session, we'll take up all your questions. Okay. So, initially, to begin with, I'll just brief you with Samvad. Like, what is Samvad? So, Samvad is an NGO committed to improve mental health. Okay, so its primary focus is counseling, research, and awareness for mental health problems. And so we are basically focusing on how to make individuals self-reliant and capable. So in this case, yoga plays an significant role. Okay, so today we have a very special guest with us, Ruhi, who is a yoga practitioner since 2003. So she began her journey in the city of dreams, that is Mumbai, and she has been sharing her knowledge across various cities in India, along with being a yoga consultant for Apollo Wellness Centers in Hyderabad. So Ruhi has trained many celebrities like Prabhas and Tamanna from Bahubali fame, Pinky Roshan, who is Hrithik Roshan's mother, actor, producer Satish Kaushik, and many more. So welcome on board, Ruhi.
Hi.
Hi. So let's begin. Okay. So, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So according to you, what is yoga and what is its goal?
According to me, yoga is a state of being. When we unite, we link or we yoke the breath, the mind, and the body together. This is called yoga. Yoga transforms your mind, your body, your breath into a completely different entity. So, according to me, this is what yoga actually is. For a lot of us, doing asana practice is yoga, but yoga asana is just 1.5% of the whole topic, which is called yoga.
Okay.
And what is the goal of yoga? The yoga, the goal of yoga is chitta vritti nirodha, which is actually bringing the stoppage of the mind. We all have movement and experiences of the mind, bringing all of them to a stoppage and bringing
Hmm.
our mind to complete nirodha chitta, like a complete, a calm mind, a zero where we are not our activity is not governed by the activity of our mind. Like I'm feeling agitated, so the way I react is
Hmm.
because of the way my mind reacts. So when
Okay.
yoga, through yoga, you can bring all these to a complete stoppage, and without any vrittis, without any experiences of your own mind, if you can live life, that is the complete goal of yoga.
Okay. So is there any connection between mind
Uh,
and body?
yes, right now, the very fact that Vinny is speaking to me is a connection between her mind and her body. The breath is
Yes.
not playing an active role, it's playing an inactive role. Breathing is an involuntary process of our body, but it's one of the
Hmm.
main uh, processes which we can regulate towards our well being. So, using your breath, we can connect the body to the mind
Hmm.
in a much more healthier manner. Most of us
Okay.
function with the mind and body movement. It's like I need to go for a jog. So my
Hmm.
mind has taken me for a jog and I'm just breathing the way I generally breathe. But if
Okay.
I can manipulate my breath, the better word used is regulate my breath to my benefit. Then my mind benefits and so does my body benefit. And this
Okay.
is very proven because a lot of extremely fit people are still, you can still be mentally sick, right? We see that all around right now, that
Yes.
physically fit does not mean I am mentally
You
fit.
have.
Two different areas. But yoga
Yes.
does help you be mentally and physically fit.
Okay. So how does the breath help for the connection?
Okay.
The yeah.
Research has proven that when you manipulate, when you regulate your breath to breathe in a certain way, it works on
Hmm.
the anatomy of the body and
Hmm.
helps to reduce the activities of the mind.
Okay.
Like probably the most common example is of a dog and of a turtle or a tortoise. Okay, we can see
Hmm.
how both of them live their lives. One lives it extremely short, fast,
Hmm.
and all around the place, whereas one lives it extremely slow,
Slow.
extremely qualitative, and extremely meditative. When we look at each of them, it
Hmm.
stirs experiences in us personally. So the
Okay.
quality of their lives is governed by the breath.
Okay.
So
And so do you think?
when you see the
Okay.
dog breathing, you know,
Huh.
you see him going, he goes all over the place. But
Yes. Huh.
if a tortoise or a turtle breathes, you do not know even when he moved. You know, he's moved and you
Okay.
don't even know he's moved. He's so subtle about it. He's so beautiful
Yes.
about it. His movement, everything he does is so beautiful. I'm not saying
Hmm.
that the movement of the dog is not nice, but I am
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
looking to give you an example of how the breath can be used to our benefit.
Okay. That is a very good example, with
Hmm.
a tortoise and a dog.
Yeah, so it's
So,
like we both been
huh.
given this portion of life. Each has been given,
Hmm.
for example, 100 breaths. The dog has been given, and 100 breaths the turtle has been given. But
Hmm.
you see, the dog, all of us know the dog lives a short life. And why does a dog live just for 10 years or for 7 years? It's because
Hmm.
he's breathing, his breath rate is extremely high, which also
All
happens
right.
to us when we are angry, when we are stressed, when we are fearful, when we have a lot of
Hmm.
mental affiliations, when mentally we are affected, our breath
Hmm.
rate goes very high, and hence it affects the body as a manifestation. So while
Yes.
in allopathy one will say that I have a certain pain and we will go to address it, in
Hmm.
yoga we will at one point say that we had already created it a very long time ago in the head,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
breath took its place, and hence the organ got unwell on the body manifested. So it's the other way
Okay.
around with yoga.
Okay. So breath is very important.
Breath is
Yeah.
extremely important. Hence,
Hmm.
we encourage meditation, because the different kinds of meditation finally work on your breath. And
Okay.
if you're want to be in the meditative state, it's the breath ratio of how slowly, how subtly, dirgha and sukshma is finally the goal of any pranayama. Dirgha is to
Okay.
make it subtle, and sukshma, dirgha, long
Hmm.
and subtle, is finally the goal
Okay.
of any pranayama that we practice.
Hmm. 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 Okay. So do you think yoga helps in all mental health problems like depression, trauma, stress?
Yes, it does, but depends on where exactly are you in your depression, in your mental stress.
Hmm.
So what I'm saying is that just because you do yoga, that does not mean that you may not have these, but the degree of
Okay.
relativity is will vary. If you're someone who's been a yoga practitioner, who does the pranayama, who does the asana
Hmm.
practice, and who
Hmm.
follows meditative practices on a regular basis, again,
Hmm.
regularity of practicing anything you do is very, very important. Just like
Hmm.
we clean ourselves externally, we never
Hmm.
question that we're going to take a bath or
Hmm.
we need to do our morning routines. We do not question it. It happens and we do it
Yes.
regularly, right? But
Hmm.
what about
Yes.
the cleaning of the mind from inside?
Hmm.
So if we are told to do our meditation or our yoga practice or our pranayam every day, we
Hmm.
find it boring after a time.
Yeah.
But we do not get bored of taking a bath, do we?
Hmm.
So in
No.
the similar
Hmm.
manner, yeah, we do not. We do
Uh,
not question it that why should I
that
take a
is
bath?
mandatory.
It
Huh.
is
Yeah.
mandatory, and maybe when your
Yes.
children will skip a bath, but as you grow older, so it's
Hmm.
important for us to inculcate the habit of meditating, of doing pranayama and asana into our children from the age of 7 or 8. So as they grow older, they understand the cleanliness of the mind internally is equally important. Today, we do not
Hmm.
actually address mental problems so easily. But
Hmm.
yet, the current scenario of the country or the world itself has brought this to a highlight. So,
Correct.
someone can
Yeah.
look physically very beautiful, physically very fit, but can be mentally extremely ill. But until and
Ill.
unless
Hmm.
you don't do a drastic step, no, but none of us will actually know that this person was unwell.
Okay.
Right? And also in our
Right.
society and culture, we do not believe in talking to somebody about it, or we do not believe in addressing it. We just it's not brought up, it's not been addressed.
There's a
Someone will not say
stigma.
that I'm
Yeah.
feeling depressed today. You will say,
Hmm.
oh, I'm feeling low, but nobody will very easily say I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling low.
Low.
People don't say that so easily because it's considered unhealthy in our society by whole to
Hmm.
talk about it like that.
Hmm.
So yes, when you do the yoga regularly, again I'm saying that we can have, like, I can just be depressed because the weather is low, I haven't stepped out. Being a
Hmm.
woman, we have a lot of hormones that play a large part on how we feel. But my
Yes.
breathing will definitely help in even my hormonal imbalance. So, practicing your meditative practice on a daily basis is very important. And definitely, you're not going to hit a rock bottom. And
Hmm.
the turnaround time is much more faster than for someone who
Yes.
does not do any of these practices at all.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm. Okay. So does it help in acute episodes of distress, yoga?
Uh, yes, it can. But when you say yoga again, we
Hmm.
have the Ashtanga yoga, which has been given to us by Patanjali, who talks
Hmm.
about yama, niyama, asan, pranayama, dhyan. So there has been a stage, there is a proper step by step practice of each and everything which has been laid out to us. It's just
Hmm.
that in our schools, we don't talk about it.
Yes.
In our schools today also, all we do is teach our children a couple of asanas which
Hmm.
represent animals or places, and maybe a little breathing, but our children are not taught from the basics of how we should be in social norms, what is our personal equation for ourselves.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the introduction is not being given to us in a right manner. So
Correct.
for acute, again, if I have a person who's extremely depressed, I just can't suddenly give the person something to do in yoga. We would need
Hmm.
to help them through medication,
Hmm.
and the
Ka.
practice
Ka.
takes, yoga is a very slow process. It's a very self-invoking process. It is a swadhyaya. It is a
Hmm.
self-study about yourself, about studying your own breath, your own movements, about
Hmm. Hmm.
how do you react. So for a very, very acute patient, it can be started simultaneously, but I think the medication would need to be done, or if it's an extremely uh, acute case.
Okay. And is yoga and pranayam different?
Pranayama is a part of the eightfold structure that has been given to us. So there are steps. The
Mhm.
first one is yama, niyama, asana, and then pranayama. So
Mhm.
asana has to do with the body. When we place
Mhm.
our body in a new position, right
Mhm.
now I'm sitting cross legs. This is a very comfortable position for me. So this
Mhm.
is, it is an asana, but it is not a new posture for my body. It's not challenging. But when
Okay.
you put your body into a different position every time and you
Mhm.
connect your breath, connection of your breath to your body is extremely important
Im-
for it to
mhm.
become a meditative practice, a collective practice. When we say we're joining the mind, the body, and the
Body,
breath.
breath.
So when you do a practice which is extremely meditative, and this is what makes it meditative, that when you're in a posture, you are not
Hmm.
allowing the mind to push the body. Say, hey, I can't touch my
Hmm.
feet. Now I'm going to just put myself down. No,
Self.
that's not the way. That's letting the mind take over the body. We have to
Hmm.
allow the breath to take the lead.
Lead.
You
Hmm.
have to actually, in a certain way, allow the breath. The breath and the mind and the
Hmm.
body are in a relationship. We generally function with just, like your first question, the mind and the body. The breath has no place. It's like a submissive wife who has never had a say in a
Hmm.
relationship. So it's very important for you to take the mind and allow it to keep it aside. And yoga,
Hmm.
pranayama, and asanas help to give. They give the mind a lot of work where we say, okay, place the leg in a certain manner, allow your
Hmm.
body
Hmm.
to drop gently. There's many areas in which
Hmm.
the mind can be kept occupied while the breath takes the following and the lead while moving it in certain asanas or all the asanas.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
So,
pranayama is part of the path. It's not the only thing.
only thing. Okay. So,
Yes,
if a person is,
people who are
hmm.
unable, like we have the older people plus 60 who may not be able to do such an vigorous asana practice.
Hmm.
Definitely they can use pranayama and very maybe two postures, one posture. Yes, definitely. You can just do practice only with your pranayama also.
Okay. And if the person is not flexible enough, pranayam will be sufficient to
Uh,
reduce the anxiety.
so, if the person is not flexible, we wouldn't say that pranayama is important. There are different parameters. So, it depends on the age of the person, depends on where the person stays, what is the person's problems, what is the
Hmm.
role the person plays in society. All these are extremely important for us to decide as a teacher whether we need to give them only pranayama
Hmm.
or we need to give them asana and pranayama practice both together. So,
Okay.
flexibility, they're both interrelated. If I'm not flexible, I will never be able to do it. And if I don't do it, I
Hmm.
will never be flexible. So,
Okay.
they're both correlated
Interrelated.
to each
Ah.
other. So, while we
Ah.
are holding this platform, we can very gradually move into this one. And while we hold this one, we can gradually move on further because flexibility is practice.
Hmm.
Okay, and at this point, we're only talking about flexibility of body, but
Hmm.
I also feel there has to be flexibility of the mind. It's very important for you to want to be able to change. The flexibility, the very fact that I want to change the way I react to a certain situation or to a certain person is also important. So, flexibility is not only of the body, they are very,
Hmm.
very connected to the mind and body. So,
Hmm.
yes, if I am someone who is not flexible, I might also be someone who is not very flexible in my mind. I may not be wanting change very easily in my life or in the way I work or with the way I deal with people. So
Okay.
flexibility is of different areas. We might want flexibility in different areas. Where
Mm-hmm.
exactly is the flexibility? Do you want the flexibility? But with the mind,
Okay.
we work to the body, and in the body, we
Hmm.
work to the mind.
Okay. And what kind of yoga is important for mental health? Like a basic level or a advanced level will work?
See, we need to start at basic all the time. Okay,
Okay.
learning the principles of your breath, learning the principles of asanas, learning of why exactly one is doing the yoga, what do I want to achieve from my yoga, how much
Mm-hmm.
commitment am I willing to give, is
Hmm.
very important. So from basic, do we need to go to advanced? We can't just write paragraphs and compositions without learning the ABC of our English grammar, right? So to
Hmm.
have a comprehension or to be able to read one or to compose a paragraph, I need
Hmm.
to learn the basics of my English. So in the same
Hmm.
way, for me to achieve anything larger, we need to start on a basic level.
Okay. So we have a question like they're asking, how do we start with the practice of yoga? Rucha,
So
she's a founder.
correct. So now the
Mhm.
question again is that what exactly do you want to achieve with the yoga practice? I said
Mhm.
that the main goal of yoga is to bring a, a very quiet mind. So is that what you're looking at? Or are
Hmm.
you looking at an asana practice? Again, I want to repeat
Okay.
that asana is only 1.5% of the topic called yoga.
Yoga. Hmm.
1.5%. So a lot of people who practice asana mistake themselves to be saying that I do yoga. You are doing
Hmm.
an asana practice, which is 1.5% of yoga.
Of yoga.
Okay, so
Okay.
there might be someone who is unable to
Hmm.
do his asana practice,
Hmm.
but does his breath, he meditates, he works on all the
Hmm.
yamas and niyamas, all the structures that are required. So he
Hmm.
is equally doing yoga compared to
Hmm.
somebody who is doing only an asana practice and has absolutely no clue of any of the other structures of this.
Okay. And people suffering from mental health problems often complain of insomnia. So, do you think yoga can help?
Yes, yes, yoga can help because every element in the earth is made out of three structures. One is the rajas quality, which is an
Hmm.
active, the activity that happens in something.
Hmm.
A tamas quality, which is a very dormant, a sleepy
Hmm.
mode, and a sattva quality, which is the feeling
Hmm.
of being light. So when
Okay.
you have insomnia, the cycle of rajas, tamas, and sattva have not been completed. So probably insomnia can be someone who has extreme anxiety, who's having
Hmm.
trauma, or someone who is just sat the whole day, watch TV the whole day. A lot of us have had insomnia in these lockdown days. And why? Because the rajas area, that is the activity of the mind, has not been brought out. We have not physically done enough to be able
Hmm.
for the body to move into tamas, to be able to lie down
Hmm.
and relax. So, hence, yes, practicing yoga can help insomnia. But again, if it is an acute case, it will take time. Everything takes time with yoga. Yoga is not a quick fix. It's
Hmm.
absolutely not a quick fix that, okay, I've done my yoga for 7 days, like an allopathy course of 7 days, now I'm going to be fine. It is a daily process because on daily basis we are facing situations that are accumulating the mental stress.
Hmm.
How I already have a backlog, maybe my
Hmm.
childhood trauma, maybe my when I was in my mother's womb, my mother had a very difficult pregnancy, so I have carried all that along with me into my cellular structure of my body. So if I do 7 days yoga, what have I
Hmm.
looked after of that birth or right now that I'm dealing with every day.
Hmm.
So one is a cleaning of the past
Hmm.
and tackling, learning to take care of my daily stresses that come to me. Each of us as
Hmm.
householders, as whatever role we play, we might be students, parents, children, in-laws. We have so many
Hmm.
at work. We have so many situations that are thrown to us on daily basis.
Daily
So
basis. Hmm.
now, if I have played football and come, and will
Hmm.
come back and take a bath, but
Hmm.
if I've had a stressful day, will I sit after a bath in the night and meditate to clear the stress for it? I
Okay.
won't, right?
Won't. Yeah. Hmm.
It's not even about what, that I have picked up so much for the day. I've had a really bad day at work, or I've
Hmm.
really been tortured by my boss. I've really had. So have I cleaned that area? So definitely I'm
Yeah.
going to go so heavy in the mind, so heavy in the body, so heavy in the emotions. Have I
Hmm.
cleaned that for the day? I haven't. And then I have years of backlog. You
Yeah.
see, so little by little, having
Hmm.
patience. Okay,
Hmm.
one is using the tapas, swadhyaya, and ishwa pranidhana as a key. Where tapas is
Hmm.
we really, discipline ourselves. We get up
Hmm.
every day, we practice what we need to. Every day you will stand in front of the mirror and you will brush your teeth for certain number of minutes. So that is the
Hmm.
discipline, the tapas that you have invested in your teeth,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then if you see any cavities, you will go to the doctor and you will get it cleaned out, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then you say, okay, eating sticky food is going to ruin my teeth. So that's Swadhyaya. This is what I'm learning about my teeth. And I'm avoiding the future damage, right? And once I've done these two, I say, okay, God, now you take care of the rest, right? After that, you
Yeah.
do what? So these two are important. So same thing with yoga. I need to
Hmm.
practice. I need to sit and do my dhyan. I need to do my asana practice. I need to do my
Hmm.
pranayama. I need to follow and watch my mind, the yamas and the niyamas that have been given to us.
Hmm.
Okay, when I do that as a
Okay.
regular practice is my discipline. And the practice of yoga by itself is swadhyaya. It's a self-study because you will
Hmm.
begin
Hmm.
to understand that if I ate too much of food, I'm feeling uncomfortable. It's affecting my mind. I can't sleep at
Hmm.
night. As you start watching, what did I eat? How much
Hmm.
time did I eat? Did I skip my food? Your food, your aharam is a very important part of your life, of your mental being, of your physical being. Your gut is
Hmm.
your first brain. In Ayurveda, we believe that
Okay.
the gut is the first brain.
Hmm.
So taking care of these, after I've taken care of these two, then I finally say, okay, I've done my practice. I have done my discipline. I can't do
Hmm.
anything. I will leave it to the higher self and then
Okay.
say Ishwar Pranidhana.
Okay, so we have some questions coming up. Like, what is the difference between types of yoga, hatha yoga, then power yoga, and what and how can we select our style?
Okay, so see, each one of us, the very fact that yoga has different schools of thought, it's because there are people with different minds. We have people with different lifestyles. So you have to choose a yoga which is most appropriate to you and your lifestyle. Okay, so someone who is extremely active in the mind, who is a very go-getter, who are, people who will get up and just get life to go for themselves. They need an extremely active practice. If you give
Hmm.
them four postures and 20 minutes or half an hour, 1 hour of pranayama, they will run away from yoga. This is not my cup of tea, but
Hmm.
actually that is what will work for you the most. But
Hmm.
initially, you have to do something that you enjoy. So for you to
Okay.
enjoy the practice, So I would recommend that you try different schools of yoga. You see which one suits you, which one is that you feel good about. Yoga is again not
Mm-hmm.
about feeling good. It's about feeling nothing. It's a, remember, we are empty ourselves. So if a certain
Yes.
practice is giving me an awesome body, again I
Mm-hmm.
have attached myself to how I look. So tomorrow if I don't do a practice and I don't look good, I'm going to feel depressed again. So you see, it
Correct.
has not solved any problem going to a yoga class which made you slim. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason for what you went for was wrong. So it's definitely
Mm-hmm.
going to bring disappointment. So you have to try different schools of yogas and see whichever suits you. And
Mm-hmm.
right now we have so many good teachers, we have so many good schools of yoga in every city. So I would recommend something that suits your lifestyle, one which is very important, which again you will begin to feel the difference in your breath. You will feel the difference in your mind. You will begin to see the difference. Yes, you have to be regular, you have to practice, and you have to be aware. Don't go to a class where you just look at somebody and whatever they do, you continue doing it. So if the
Mm-hmm.
person is removed, then you are stuck and you're like, oh my God, now what do I do? Remember, it is a self study. So even when you
Mm-hmm.
attend a class, you should be aware that how is this benefiting me? How have I got better? These are important questions to ask when you attend anything, because you are
Mm-hmm.
going there to learn, and if you don't learn, it's of no use.
Okay, so we have one more question coming up. Uh, if yoga has to be learned through books or YouTube videos.
Okay, strongly recommend no YouTube videos which are unsupervised. If you have a teacher on the other end, because today that is what the lifestyle is. Right now, we are unable to go to a personal yoga class, or a teacher is
Mm.
unable to go to people and reach out there and be there, you know. So at least
Mm-hmm.
having a teacher right around at a online class is important. But if you are
Mm-hmm.
beginning, it is very important for you to have a teacher with you, a good teacher. Again, you have a lot of teachers in the market who finish a 3 month course, a 1 month course. Today, yoga has become a very big market for good career prospects. So it's important that you choose a teacher with some kind of substantial experience. Very important for the teacher to be able to understand you and help you understand yourself better. So I
Okay.
do not really recommend YouTube videos. You know, sometimes if you're bored and you want to do a workout, then it's different. But if you're saying that you want to learn yoga, you want to learn your breath, it has to be done with a teacher.
Okay. Okay. So no books, no YouTube videos initially.
Once you have a
Yeah.
teacher with you, and then
Mm.
when you're hungry for the knowledge and you want
Mm.
to gain more, it's better you ask the teacher personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better that you ask the teacher personally. And because it depends again on which school of yoga you're going to learn the yoga from. So if that school, that type of yoga suits you, then for you to learn in that tradition is most appropriate,
Mm.
because different schools have different principles. Okay, it's like this hand of mine is finally here, but different fingers, they all lead to this palm of mine. So different schools of yoga will finally take you there. It's what kind of personality am I? Am I a pinky or
Mm.
am I a thumb? It
Mm.
doesn't matter. But if I'm a thumb and I go to a school of yoga which are all thumbs around, I feel
Mm.
nice because it suits my personality. It makes my journey easier. But finally, all of them are going to come here. So no school particularly will say that school won't take you and this one won't take you. There are different interpretations of people who practice the scripture and presented it to us, because we are all people with different kind of minds, personalities.
Okay. So are there any side effects of yoga?
Yes, side effects of yoga is now when you ask me the question side effects of yoga, you have to ask me side effects of asanas and pranayama is what you're asking me, or can you be more elaborate?
Yes. Yeah, pranayam, asanas, and if the posture is not proper, because already the patient is low, feeling low and depressed, and
Yeah,
if they are not able to do it, they'll feel more depressed.
correct. That's true. So that's why it's very important for you to be with a teacher who understands and respects your boundaries. Because I think when you ask me the question, you're asking about patients who have acute problems, right?
Hmm.
So for them, they do come under therapy. A lot of them come under therapy, where people need you need to give them things that they can do, which will help them. The
Okay.
function of what they do has to be more important than the form
Hmm.
of what they're going to do. So if they,
Hmm.
supposing if I have a patient who has a lower back problem, and if I give her a lot of, if she goes and does any class on a YouTube where they need to bend so much forward, by that night she's going to be bedridden. And then she's going to strike out doing any kind of asana practice forever out of her dictionary.
Hmm.
So how it gets introduced to you is very important, because the right introduction, the right guidance is extremely
Hmm.
important for how it can take you further.
Okay. And how does yoga help to improve one's lifestyle, the quality of lifestyle?
Yeah, of course. See, when you are mentally very balanced, no, every area of yours will get better. You will realize that you need to eat better. You would want to eat
Hmm.
healthier food. When I say healthier food, I do not mean the society norms today, where like everyone says, oh, eating quinoa is the health superfood. When I say you will become sensitive to when you eat something, does your body become happy? Do you feel happy? Okay.
Hmm.
So when I say happy, I don't mean where, I become ecstatic about eating, oh, I ate such yummy, spicy food. But in the night, if my stomach's unwell, and the next morning I'm going to have burning and I'm going to have all these issues that come along with over spicy food.
Hmm.
When you practice your yoga and when you are mentally stable and balanced, your body will become sensitive. You will learn the connection between your mind, your breath, and your body. You will respect when the body says no. So, for
Hmm.
everything, not overusing your body physically, emotionally, when you are being, when there are situations at work or anywhere, when you emotionally you are being attacked, you will know the difference. You will learn to say no in the most loving manner without offending anybody else.
Hmm.
So, yes, overall, the lifestyle for you will change because you will make better choices. You will want to get a better job for yourself. You will learn what you love. Generally, most of us are kids who are parents said, you study this, study this, study this.
Hmm.
So now I'm stuck in this job. Now I don't know what to do. So I'm unhappy. I am mentally stressed out. I have traumas because I was forced to do something I never wanted to do. You see,
Correct. Yeah.
but if I manage to get myself in balance, I might
Hmm.
be able to recognize that this is what I was forced into doing, and can I make the change for myself, knowing that
Hmm.
I can do this by myself.
Hmm.
So, in every area, even your relationships will get better because your relationships are traumatized or they are stressed because you are unable to be mentally healthy and deal with them in a healthy manner. Where you need to
Okay.
ignore them, you are unable to ignore them. And where you want
Hmm.
to accept them, you are unable to accept them. We all have expectations, like we say, na? So
Yes.
this will change because your mind gets very, very stable. Your breath is your best friend. This is the most important. If each of us can, practice our pranayama and asana practice, making our breath our best friend. My best friend may be in a bad mood today. So if I call her up and ask her for advice, she might give me the most horrible advice for that day. Because she is sharing with me her reflection of how she is feeling. But my own breath will never lie to me. My breath for the
Yeah.
day will say, Ruhi, you are unwell today. Why don't you just take a break? Today Ruhi, you are perfectly fine. Why don't you do one extra class today? So my breath, if I learn instead of leaning on anybody outside, all these sayings will say, search for your answers inside. And I would, when I was younger, I always found it very, what is search for answers inside? How is it possible to search for answers inside? But if the mind is calm, you are able to listen to your body. You are able to listen to your breath. And if
Okay.
these two are able, you become sensitive to them. It's an amazing journey with yourself. Then put in any situation, put in any place, you will always be a leader. You will come out untouched.
Holistic approach.
It's holistic approach. It's not only it's the food, how your body just becomes so like I want to eat. It makes me happy to eat something. So acceptability doesn't matter. Even if I eat this much of it, I feel very happy and satiated. And otherwise I can, so many of us go through, I ate so much, but I'm still not full.
Yes.
Because you have just eaten what you think is right, but it's not what your body really is wanting. So
Okay.
your
So now
body, yeah.
let us take a case of a mentally disturbed person. How much time do you think he should practice?
When you say mentally disturbed, you would need to share much more details about the client. It's a very generalized question because again, I do not know, or the observation. There isn't any information given to me except for mentally disturbed. A
Okay.
7-year-old who didn't get his chocolate for the day and was punished and not let to watch TV is mentally disturbed also. So
Okay, okay.
what is the depth? How what is the you understand what I'm asking you as a
Yeah,
doctor?
we'll have
What
to assess it.
it's important to assess. So for that, we need to ask so many questions, just like a doctor asks. It's important that the more questions you ask and the more information we have, and everyone reacts to whatever practice is given to them differently. So we cannot fit it. One cap doesn't fit all. Where I say, okay, now this person will take 3 months, this person will take 7 months, this person will take 1 month. Nothing like that can be told, because on daily basis, as the person begins to feel better and there's no progression, then is how you keep changing the practice and you keep it gets better for them. There may be something that may not suit them. So it needs to be the practice needs to progressively change to see that benefit happening in the long run. There is no fixed medicine. This is a crocin.
Ah.
Everyone who has a headache should have it. With yoga, it doesn't work like that. It's a very personalized approach.
Okay. And what is the best time to do yoga?
Okay. Now, the best time to do yoga is for someone to choose personally in our day and age. Someone may just sleep very late at night because they're working on an online job. And if I say practice yoga at 5 in the morning, you will never touch yoga this lifetime.
That will be the
So,
last day.
yeah, exactly. So, for me, personally, if you practiced yoga when it is most appropriate for you, with a 3 hours gap after your food, is fine. Again, when you practice the morning yoga is a different practice When you do a practice in the evening, it's a different practice.
Different practice.
Yes. Yes, the time of the day is very important. So what time you are practicing is important. When you choose, like for a householder, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning is appropriate, when she has finished all her work, she's finished all her cooking, and then she just sits down and says, now this is my time. Because 5 o'clock she might have a tiffin to send to, all of us have different kind of responsibilities in our personal life. So this is a personal practice. It's something that's done for me. It's a me time. So in the amidst of lot of confusion, will I be happy to do my practice? No, I will
No,
not do
correct.
it. It has to be just me and myself. So choosing that for yourself is important. When you choose the right time for you, that is the only time meant for you to practice.
Okay.
And
So
then when you get more deeper in your practice, you will find the most appropriate time. You will get up that early morning, or you will stay up. You will make that extra effort when you see, when I taste an ice cream, and if I really love it, and I have to travel 50 kilometers to go buy it and eat it, I will take that effort. But if I did not taste it, I'm not going to travel 50 kilometers just for an ice cream, right?
correct.
So
Yeah.
I have to taste it first. So for me to taste it, someone should have brought it, given it in my lap, and I should have eaten it just like that. And then I will taste it. So your practice, your pranayama is all like this. You need to first taste it. You have to reap the benefit. You have to feel it within you. And then, yes, you will meet then the proper norms of the timing. Then you can follow it by the rule. But for initial basic stages, I would recommend choose a time that is most appropriate for you and your lifestyle.
The most convenient time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But 3
Okay.
hours gap after food. So if you've eaten lunch at 1 o'clock, the most appropriate would be anytime after 4.
Okay. Okay. So if you want to summarize in one line about yoga for mental health, what would you say?
I would say make your breath your best friend. Really,
Okay.
I would just say make your breath your best friend, and this best friend will never let you down for be it your mental health, be it your physical health, your emotional health, or be it yourself. You will never ever regret it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, Ruhi, for enlightening us about yoga and mental health. So if that's amazing. Uh, After this session, I'm sure many will be motivated to start
Yes.
yoga. Okay, so if we recommend patients to you, will it be okay like in future if we
Yes, sure.
collaborate and do some sessions?
We can work in, yes, we can work in collaboration, definitely.
Okay, okay. So even I have to start yoga now. Even I am motivated with your session.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Again, like I said, the journey is very beautiful. When you begin it, it's like any new relationship, there's all excitement. But the longer you stay in the relationship with yourself, it only gets better. I'm not saying there will be no ups and downs. There's always ups and downs. There'll always be a day where you get up feeling really, absolutely not great about yourself. But your turnaround time will be faster than anyone who does not have that relationship with themselves.
Correct. So thank you guys for joining in.
Thank you so much.
So this video will be uploaded on YouTube and on our channel as well. So thank you, Ruhi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Chalo, I'll end the session. Bye bye.
Bye bye.